So Constantine and Caps will get this one underway. As we have basketball in San Antonio, Texas in the McDermott Center. Thank you everybody for tuning in with us. As Graham will take control of the basketball down to Johnson in the left corner. Gets a screen from Charles Brown III. Looks like a little bit of man-to-man early on from the Lions. Graham gives a couple of jab steps as he receives the screen. Konstantin Kolitnikov goes to work in the post. Gets the left-handed hook shot, not able to fall, just short off the front iron. Here come the Lions with Veal. Then now they're going to run some offense between Fillmore and Singleton as UIW goes into that 2-3 zone with Konstantin Kolitnikov really just anchoring the middle there and making life difficult. That shot attempt is up and no good. UIW grabs the rebound. We see it there early on, the 7-footer just changing shots around the rim, giving UIW a one-and-done type of possession on the defensive side.
Yeah, his presence is felt immensely. You know, all he has to do is basically stand there and put his hands up.
Keaton Hervey now goes to the rim, throws it up with the left hand, and just lays it in off the front iron. So here comes Veal now down the floor. Agent Zero, as he's dubbed by his warm-ups when I was down there early on. Fillmore. Back to Singleton in that left wing.
Yeah, Incarnate right now in a little 2-3 zone here.
Yeah, just working in the southeast Louisiana line, just working this one on the perimeter right now. We get to Veal right in the right wing. Veal takes it to the deck. Konstantin Kolitnikov comes up with a block, gets that one knocked away. Veal lines it up again and somehow gets it to go at the buzzer. Sometimes when they're falling for you, that's all you really need to do. As Graham, to Hervey in the left wing. As Fillmore on him. Johnson, right wing. This one works his way around the perimeter. Keaton Hervey can't come up with the ball there. It's a little bit, just got him the fingertips really. Wasn't able to control it as it rolls out of bounds.
Yeah, talk about that matchup, Keaton Hervey and Fillmore. You know, he has a little bit of a height advantage. Keaton Hervey's 6'7". You know, Fillmore is only 6 foot. Look for Coach Burmeister to take advantage of that tonight.
Tips, trying to work against Constantine. Loses handles of the basketball. Singleton puts it in the deck. Veal lines up a long three. That's going to be no good. Great box out from Constantine there. And here come the UIW Cardinals now. It's Hervey now in the left wing. Tries to work some offense against this man-to-man defense. In a weird way, it kind of reminds me of a 2-3 zone as well. And sure enough, they fall back into it. Looks like a man zone, really. As Charles Brown III with his back towards the basket, can't get the right-handed jumper to go. Here comes the Alliance. Singleton, swinging this one on the perimeter, tips, takes a fadeaway jumper from the left elbow, got that one to go. Veal trying to get a steal on Graham. Graham will now turn on the Jets. Here come the Cardinals now as they trail 4-2. Johnson in the right elbow to Charles Brown III, lines up a long three and gets that one to go. Tell you what, that was a very fast developing play from the three players there. Charles Brown III just shot up an early shot into the shot clock, but somehow it was a good look and got it to fall down.
Yeah, that was, and I think if Charles Brown is smart, he looks for that shot early on tonight.
That one rims in and out, no good. Tell you what, that one hit the rim very hard. I could hear it from all the way up here. As Hervey gives a couple of dribble moves now to put this back towards the bucket. It was working against Fillmore. Now to Charles Brown III, throws that one up, no good. Fighting for the rebound is Konstantin Kolitnikov. Getting a little physical down low. Konstantin grabs the rebound. Charles Brown III with a turnaround jumper from that left elbow, a left block, couldn't get it to go. And here comes Veal, putting the speed on, works against Graham, throws it up with the left hand and gets it to go. Veal, you can see why he's named Agent Zero. That was some Gilbert Arenas-esque moves as he got into the lane.
Yeah, he did a little Euro step there across against his defender. You know, Shawn Johnson, who's very good at blocking shots, couldn't even get to it.
That's saying a lot when you get it over a plane. This here comes Thompson, Neville. Southeastern Louisiana, they want to get down the floor in a hurry. Very up-tempo-ish type of team. And we talked to Coach Curtis about this last week. You know, as he said just that, they're very guard-oriented, and they want to get up and down the floor in a hurry. Taking it to the deck now is Charleston. Got it to go with the right hand off the glass. And Coach Burmeister wants to talk about it.
Actually, I was wrong. There was one turnover, but you know, it's okay. We're going to go ahead and discard that. But overall, you know, it's a good game from both teams.
You get a plus minus 3% ratio there.
3%.
So you're still good. As Graham goes to Sox, who recently checked into the ballgame from Konstantin Kolitnikov. Sox with his back towards the bucket will work against Taps. Takes a couple of ball fakes, throws it up, no good. But he'll go to the line to shoot 2. I said Taps, I meant Caps. Number 21 for the Southeastern Louisiana Lions. That free throw is up and good. I'll tell you what, when players shoot those free throws and they move that lead-off hand very quickly and they start leaning, that always, like, for me, that's a sinking feeling. But Simi Sox gets them both to go.
Yeah, Simi Sox is very comfortable shooting the ball. You know, I think he scores a lot of his points off jump shots.
As Veal comes right back for the Lions, 1-point deficit for the Cardinals. About 15 minutes left here in the first half.
Sticking to that 2-3 zone.
Yeah, even though Simi Sox is in the ball game, Charles Brown III instantly anchoring this 2-3. There's a wide open look for Singleton in that right wing. That's just going to be up and no good. Singleton, or Charleston, grabs the board. He'll go to the line to shoot 2 coming up. I think it's going to be very interesting to see the guard aspect of this game for UIW with Sam Burmester being out. He's in a walking boot. Jordan Kite is, I feel like, more of a natural 2 guard than he is a point guard. But we'll see him getting some action here at the point guard spot. So we'll see, I feel like, with Christian Peavy coming into the game as well as Jordan Kite, we're going to see Shawn Johnson, Keaton Hervey, and Sox as the primary ball handlers coming up for the UIW Cardinals.
Right, you know, I'm interested to see Augustine Henny play a little more. Last weekend he didn't play a whole lot, but he's a very good guard player. You know, he's a very good defender. He's more of a 2 guard as well, maybe a 3. But I'm interested to see him play.
It's Peavy. Keaton Hervey was wide open in that right wing. No one saw him. The Sox shoots up a 2 at the free throw line and got it to go. I believe that's going to be the first lead for UIW in the ball game, and sure enough, it is 9-8. Well, who needs guards when you just have great ball movement? How about that? As Veal comes right back down the floor. I believe he's going to try to answer that question. As Veal lines up a 3 from the top of the key and got that one to go.
And I believe that's like his 3rd attempt from that same spot there.
Very comfortable shooting the ball outside the arc. As the Lions take an 11-9 lead. Johnson gives an inlet pass to Sox. Gives a couple of jab steps. Goes across the lane, tries to give a bounce pass to Kite. This is going to bounce off his feet and go out of bounds. I think with that move that Simi Sox just made, if you can somehow manage to get away across from your man, you got to go up with that shot.
Yeah, I agree with you, but I think, you know, obviously the choice he made was not a bad choice either. You know, looking for his teammate, just put a little too much on it.
We'll see what happens is going forward in this ball game as Veal gives a ball fake at the outside. Sox, great defense there, staying in front of his man. This one's still free. It's going to be a loose ball foul. It's going to be UIW basketball. Simi Sox didn't play very much last game. He's coming in so far for relief for Konstantin Kolitnikov and came in, and that was great defense right there. Moving his feet, not reaching, staying in front of his man, grabbing a rebound and drawing a loose ball. Great series of offense there for Simi Sox. Sox brings this one down the floor. Peavy, Johnson, Jordan Kite trying to get positioning down low on the block. Kite now will line up a 3 from that right wing. Can't get it to go, but he'll draw the foul. He'll go to the line to shoot 3 as Veal picks up a foul. Tell you what, the moment I saw Jordan Kite trying to get positioned down low, saw him get a back screen, ran towards that corner area, got that ball, and it seemed like just an automatic response. The moment it touched his hands, it was going up.
Yeah, you're right. You know, Jordan Kite's a player who loves to shoot from beyond the arc. You know, a player I watched play in high school, actually. You know, he's a native of San Antonio. It's a player who lit up the scoreboard. I think everybody thought that was a 2-pointer.
Yeah, if they start running after that second make. His feet were behind the line. You can't ruin the rhythm, though. You see that when you have a great shooter, that's why, I don't know if you've ever heard coaches say this, but you can't foul a jump shooter for that exact reason alone. You just gave him 3 at the free throw line. As UIW takes a 12-11 lead. Charleston, top of the key, takes this one all the way to the bucket. Johnson just puts his hands up. And I don't know if you saw that, but the babysitting in the crowd actually deflected the ball away with her hand. It's great. She got some skills there.
Great awareness at such a young age.
The most impressive part is she was not fazed by the ball whatsoever. She's going to be a great softball player someday, or a volleyball player. That's Keaton Hervey. Right back the other way, Johnson.
We'll just say athlete.
Yeah. Hervey to Sox. You're absolutely right. She can play wide receiver.
Especially in this scheme that new head coach Eric Morris is implementing.
Exactly. That's a different move. We'll talk about football on another day, my friend. Come back to basketball now is Veal. As Greenwood takes a jab step in, that's a good shot there. That's a very textbook type of stuff. You take a jab step in, reset your feet, and get a shot up, create some space for yourself.
Yeah, that is. One thing I've noticed, in Incarnate Ward on these three-point shooters, when they're closing out, they got to make sure they stay on their feet. They're biting a little too much on the jump shot.
As Hervey gets positioning down low, loses handles of the basketball, gets the ball back somehow, gets it off the deck to go. Just how he threw it up. As here come the Lions right back the other way. This one's the lead seesawing back and forth between these two clubs, 14-13. UIW leads at the moment. Veal takes this one to the deck, works against Kite and Sox, can't get the shot up to go. However, Greenwood grabs the rebound, tries to throw it outside. This is going to be out of bounds. UIW basketball. As we reach a second timeout on the floor. The free throw line. UIW is 5 for 5 in that department. Southeastern Louisiana 0 for 2. UIW is they're getting to the line. They're making their shots. Basic basketball, really.
And sometimes that's what it comes down to, is just who makes more free throws.
That's why it's called the charity stripe. As Graham PV puts this one on the deck, takes it all the way to the deck, can't get it to go. Konstantin Kolitnikov somehow grabbing the rebound over the head of, as Kite hands it off to Cody Graham, dribbles baseline. Christian PV thought about a three, decides to take it instead, and will go out of bounds. Southeastern ball.
Yeah, I think if you're Christian PV in that situation, you have to go ahead and shoot the three there. And he was wide open.
Yeah, he was just barricaded off the moment he went baseline. That's a good move there from Charleston, really. Step in front of him.
The sideline's there. The sideline is, they say an extra defender.
Charleston. Veal gets a screen on the left side. This one swung around to Thomas. Veal lines up a three from that left wing. This is going to be no good. Charles Brown third will grab the rebound, and there will also be a foul. That's going to go on Eddie
Polanco.
Thank you. I was going to say it eventually. I was going to get it. As West checks into the ball game for Polanco. I was told pregame that in this ball game, Quentin Thomas, number 1, is the best dunker for Southeastern Louisiana, so we'll keep our eyes on that one. Right now, he's just trying to keep his own on Keaton Harvey right now. It's Hervey has him behind the bucket. Kite will line up a three from that right wing. Kite will rim this one out, no good. Thomas grabs the rebound and wants to push it down the floor. It's Thomas to Veal, gives it down low to Charleston. Left wing there, Keaton Hervey done a great job playing on the defensive side as Veal puts this one on the deck. This is going to be a left wing shot. This is going to be no good. This is going to be taken by Veal, the shortest guy in the court, getting the rebound. There's Thomas, goes between the legs a few times. Thought about a three, now to back to Veal. And now Coach Latcher wants to call a timeout wants to call offensive play about it. It's Thomas. Swinging this one around. Greenwood working on the deck, takes a step back jumper, gets that one to go. Tell you what, I'm a sucker for great post play and post moves, and that was a great post move from Greenwood.
Oh no, that was, yeah, and I am too. You know, a lot of players don't play with their back to the basket anymore. You know, they don't play on the low block as much as they used to back in the day. So whenever I see it, it's always a joy.
As Keaton Hervey can't get the shot attempt to go. Veal right back the other way. Charleston swinging this ball around are the Lions. Charleston on the free throw line will work against Konstantin Politnikov. Now to the left wing. Couple of jab steps here from the Lions. Very comfortable taking the shot clock down into the possession. As Charleston fights for the rebound, does get it now, and Southeastern wants to run another play. Very methodical approach to the offensive game here for the Lions. This ball find its way in the perimeter west of the 3 attempt, no good. And Klitnikov says no more. Let's run some O. As Hervey right back down the floor, takes it up, throws it off the glass. That one's blocked away from Charleston. As Charles Brown III gets the rebound, will draw the foul, and he'll go to the line to shoot 2. So I just think interesting matchup in this ball game so far. We talked about Southeastern Louisiana. They want to get up and down the floor. But as of late, they really have slowed this game down, running some great offense. UIW, on the other hand, got right up and down the floor. They drew a foul. And we'll see Charles Brown III to go to the line to shoot 2.
Yeah, you're right about that. And, you know, a little bit of that is because Southeastern Louisiana is able to get offensive rebound, so they're able to get second possession. So, you know, if you get offensive rebound, you're not necessarily running up and down the court. You're still in a half-court setting. You just get extra possessions. So as the game has progressed, they've had to adjust to playing in a half-court style, something that they normally don't do.
And I tell you what, and you're right, for something that's not the norm of them, they're doing a great job excelling at it at the moment. As Veal comes right back to it. And plus, I feel like also what it is UIW is playing 2-3. As soon as we say that, they come right down the floor and they shoot a 3 and it's good. So everything we just said kind of right out the window, but it's okay. As Johnson comes right back down the floor, he launches a 3 from the left wing. That's up and good. 19-18. Right now, currently, just whatever you can do, I can do better. As Veal comes right back down the floor to the right wing.
And now Shawn Johnson's first points of the game.
Southeastern just penetrating right now, having this one at the perimeter. Greenwood, cross-court pass. That's a great one to Veal. Veal puts his head down, gives it a Caps, and he gets his down one to go.
That was a great pass from Veal. He caught the defense sleeping there.
Here we go, really bringing up the press as the full court pressure comes up. Shawn Johnson right back down the floor, gets his second 3 of the ball game. And he's now 2 for 2 from behind the arc, or 2 for 3. Singleton right back on the floor. UIW has a 2-point lead at the moment. Graham absorbing the contact. Now to Caps down low, working against Charles Brown. That's going to be an offensive foul. The moment he stuck that arm out and did that wrap, the referee called it immediately.
Yeah, he kind of hooked him, as you know. That's what it really is. He hooked him, and the ref saw it. It was on it immediately.
Welcome back to the McDermott Center here in San Antonio, Texas. Graham brings this one down the floor. Charles Brown III back towards the bucket. Reverse layup, no good. Johnson can't get the rebound. And here come the Lions with Charleston. Now to Veal right up towards Singleton. They want to get right into it early on. As Charleston gives a pass to Greenwood III, gives a nice power dribble, throws it off the window, and gets that one to go.
Yeah, so far in this game, Southeastern Louisiana has displayed great interior passing from all players, from guards to bigs.
Graham, now to Charles Brown III, gets a quick double team. Graham will line up 3 from that left wing. Up and no good, just brings in and out. It's Charleston bringing this one down the floor. Now to Veal. You're absolutely right, look at this ball just moving from hands on this Lions lineup. Greenwood III. Tell you what, Greenwood III is very impressive. Gets that ball, and it just seems like he knows what to do around the block and the painted area. Is Johnson, the left wing versus Veal, gets a screen from Sox, lines up another 3, and gets it to go. And I like Coach Burmaster's reaction. Well, when you're hot, you're hot. Veal comes right back, launches up a 3. That's no good. Greenwood III grabs the rebound with the right hand and gets it to go. Again, around the block, around the painted area. So comfortable just knowing what to do down low.
Yeah, I think Greenwood is on his own personal 6-0 run currently.
As Charles Brown III lines up a three, and he gets it to go. I'll tell you what, the threes for tees here at the McDermott Center, they're going to run out of tees very quickly if they keep shooting the three ball like this. As UIW has scored 12 points off the three-pointer, Greenwood III gets the shot no good, and Charleston will get called for a foul going over the back against Shawn Johnson. Christian Peavy will set to check into the ball game for Simi Sox. Gonzalez will come into the ball game for Greenwood. As UIW finds themselves in the bonus now with Southeastern Louisiana picking up their 7th team foul. UIW only has 1 foul so far here in the first half.
Yeah, it's actually interesting that you mentioned that. I was doing some research prior to the game, and the Lions are actually first in the Southland Conference in personal fouls, averaging 17 a game. And nationally, they're 98th. So that just goes to show you how aggressive they play. You know, a little too aggressive at times.
It's a good stat as Charleston lines up the three. That's no good. I didn't know they kept track of that. As Graham up the floor to Johnson in the right wing, gets a screen from Charles Brown III. Johnson takes it all the way to the deck, absorbs the contact, but he'll go to the line to shoot 2. Shawn Johnson is having a great night so far. He's made 4 threes, and now he's attacking the bucket because the threes, you have to respect it on the outside because he's been getting them. So now he's going to penetrate inside the lane, draw some contact, and get some easy ones at the free throw line.
And, you know, guys like Shawn Johnson are hard to guard because they can kind of do it all. They can shoot, they can drive in, you know, they can play with their back to the basket and handle the ball as well. So kind of a Swiss Army knife, if I will. You know, he's a player who does it all.
That free throw is up and good. You're absolutely right on that one. So we call him Flight 41, but I guess it should be. No, I like Flight 41.
Yeah, I like that one too. I don't think it will change it.
It's Fillmore, especially when he's 4 years in. Here come the Lions right back down the floor. That's a great pass to the backside. Christian Peavy did everything he could to get in front of it. Charleston gets it back now to Fillmore in the right wing. That's 3 is good. 30 to 29 to score. As Kite lines up a 3 from the right wing. That's no good. Here comes Veal right back down the other way. The intensity and the pace really starting to pick up in this ball game. As Fillmore lines up a 3 from that left wing. He gets it to go. And now the Lions will take a 2-point lead. How about at the 4:15 mark?
Yeah, it seems like both these teams are just trading threes at this point.
Modern basketball. As Graham takes it off the window, can't get it to go. Johnson somehow, some way gets a rebound. Can't get it to go. Graham gets his rebound again. Goes it off the window and gets it to go. How about that? Cody Graham, the shortest guy on the floor, fighting for the boards amongst the trees, and gets it to go. And Veal right back the other way. What a great pass. As the bucket will count for Charleston. And he'll go to the line to shoot it and 1. Well, we got a foul here. So we'll take a quick break. We'll keep it here, just so we can actually finish.
Jalen Graham, for being a walk-on, is doing a fine job.
I would basically, if I didn't know that at the beginning of the year, I would have never have guessed. He's definitely walked on and earned his spot here in the club. This here comes the Cardinals implementing that 2-3 zone that they've been playing all game long. This one's all knotted up at 32. Singleton. Fillmore will line up a very long 3. Misses everything entirely. Just had to throw it up for the buzzer, before the buzzer. And here comes UIW back down the floor with Graham. Graham gets a screen from Charles Brown III. Christian Peavy. Keaton Hervey. Charles Brown III thought about a 3. Charleston jumps out on it. There's now Johnson on the top of the key. Will work. Down low on the block. Charles Brown III has Hervey wide open in the right wing, decides to take it instead anyway, and gets it to go. So we've seen the threes, and we've seen back towards the bucket. It's kind of like a time machine in this basketball game till modern time, to the 90s.
Yeah, we talk about Shawn Johnson being able to do it all. Charles Brown is one who can too. You know, he can step out, shoot the 3, play with his back behind the basket.
Some great interior passing. Cody Graham steps in front of it. Up court pass now to Keaton Hervey, who puts the speed on and will pick up a charging foul. Marion Veal, he's a junior. He's a veteran player for the Southeastern Louisiana Lions. And that was a very veteran move. He saw that Keaton Hervey, he knew what he wanted to do and kind of anticipated that, got to the spot, set himself, drew the charge. And what did you say that your coach would say? You draw a charge, you get some lunch?
Oh, yeah, you draw. If you take an offensive foul from me, you get a free lunch. That's what my coach said back in my day.
So if he had your coach, he'd be getting a free lunch.
Absolutely. He would have. I think everybody would have loved my coaches.
As here comes the Lions right back down the floor. 15 on the shot clock. This is to be dribbled out of the foot of Christian Peavy. As Greenwood and Peavy. A little extracurricular activity there. Nothing too
intentional. Not trying to hurt each other there. Just got a little tangled up.
Singleton looking for someone to go with the basketball. Excuse me, that's Fillmore. Gives it to Caps, now to Veal. Greenwood, the third, lines up a 2. That one's gonna rim in and out, no good. As Graham will push it down the floor now, using the Jets. Takes it to the bucket, throws it off the glass, can't get it to go. Still free, Polanco will come up with it. Up court pass to Caps. Caps throws it up with the right hand, gets it to go, and Christian Peavy gets called for a foul.
Yeah, not sure about that one, Chris. Very minimal contact there. Coach Burmeister is not happy on the sideline right now.
That was an interesting foul call. Obviously, the referee's got a better shot of it than we do. Plus, I guess I would always err on the side of let him play. I guess that's just the former basketball player of me.
Just the too competitiveness, too much competitiveness you have in you.
I'm pretty sure you like that too, though.
A little bit.
As here comes Cody Graham. About under 2 minutes left remaining in the first. PV, top of the key. They're trying to give it to Charles Brown, the third, down low on the block. Graham can't find him. Now to Hervey. He'll line up a 3 from that right wing. Too short off the front iron. Charleston grabs the rebound. How about this? Hervey running him down from the backside, trying to get the ball back. As Veal puts it down the floor, gives a bounce pass to Greenwood, the third, and gets that one to go. Tell you what, Greenwood, the third, when it's been within about 5 feet from the bucket, he's money. But the moment he steps out above that, not so well.
And Incarnate is going to have to live with him shooting outside jump shots.
As Charles Brown, the third, he'll line up a 3 and got it to go. As today we came for the Flight 41 and Charles Brown, the third show. As Charleston, now to Fillmore, now to Veal, puts this one on the deck. Tries to give outside pass to Fillmore, now to Veal, who drives into the lane. Left court, Thomas, now to Fillmore. He'll line up a 3 from that left wing and got it to go. Tell you what, that was NBA range from Fillmore, and it just seemed like he was stroking it like he was in the backyard.
Yeah, both teams right now just putting on a clinic from beyond the arc.
10-second shot, shot clock and game clock differential now. This Graham will dribble it in against Veal. Keaton Hervey in the right wing. Cobb to go on the shot clock. Now to Charles Brown, the third. Takes a couple of jab steps, lines up a 2. That's not going to go. Johnson will lose handles of the rebound to Veal. Veal will push this one up the floor. Johnson tips it out of his hands. It somehow lands on the back of a Lion. Greenwood, the third, with a turnaround jumper. Can't get it to go. And that will be how the first half will end here. At least you know I know my Southland Conference teams on the top of my head. As Veal inbounds it to Singleton. And kind of a role reversal, really. Singleton will work against Shawn Johnson. Singleton, bounce pass to Veal. Gives it to Caps. And Kolitnikov is going to get called for a foul right off the bat.
Yeah, for a second there, it seemed like Incarnate Ward was in a man, but quickly found themselves in the 2-3 zone. It seemed like
as Charles Brown III will front the inbounder. This one's going to be a bounce pass to Caps as Konstantin Klitnikov blocks it away. I can't help but kind of like smile when Konstantin Klitnikov gets a block because it's so effortless for him.
Yeah, he's real nonchalant about it. You know, he's like, he blocks a shot and he's like, okay, it's good. And he just moves on to the next possession almost, it seems like.
As Singleton thought about a three, decides to dribble into the lane now. Gives a ball fake, another ball fake. Coach Burmeister wanted a 3-second violation. As that Fillmore launches up three, that's no good. How about Veal? What a great athlete. Just casually decides to jump over the chairs there on the bench. And I tell you what, the most impressive part, got no warm-up to it either. Just had to jump it or fall into the chair.
Yeah, you just got to love the effort. Coach Ladner over there, kind of smiled a little bit.
Might lose his athletes a long jump or high jump. As here come the Cardinals right back down the floor. Actually, wouldn't be surprised if he's involved in it in the offseason. As Charles Brown III back towards the bucket now. Now to Graham. Passes to Hervey. Hervey will launch up a 2. I believe that one was inside the arc. No good. And here come the Lions. Fillmore will line up 3 from that left wing, and he gets that one to go. Fillmore is such a natural shooter. He has the touch from outside the arc, and he's got another one to go. 6-point lead now for the Lions. It's Johnson to Konstantin Klitnikov. Takes a dribble in now to Johnson. 15 to go on the shot clock as he just inlets that one to Charles Brown III. Puts his shoulder down, wants to work a little bit. Graham gives a couple of dribbles now to Charles Brown III. Works on the right elbow. Tries giving a pass to Konstantin Klitnikov, and that one rolls out of bounds, no good.
Yeah, it looked like Charles Brown tried to force it down there. Not enough space to get it into him. Never a bad look, though. You can't hate the unselfishness of Charles Brown.
Yeah, you're right, but I think sometimes you have to be a little selfish, and when it's late in the shot clock like that, you can't be afraid to take the shot, especially when you're inside the paint like that. As Fillmore lines up another 3 at the right wing and gets it to go. We talked about it, Fillmore, natural shooter, getting another one to go. You think he shot that shot a few thousand times in his life?
He probably shot that shot a few thousand times, like his weekend,
Warm-ups. Yeah, you're right. As Charles Brown III gets that one off the glass, can't get it to go. Sox gets that one stolen away from Caps. And here comes the Lions right back down the other way. Singleton puts his head down, goes between the legs, gives it to Fillmore. Veal, Charleston. Charleston gets a spin move, throws it up, can't get it to go. He'll go to the line to shoot 2. I think the second half adjustments for the Lions so far has just been more aggressiveness on the offensive side of the ball. Once they get there, they're making quick decisions. They're attacking the rim. And they're just not giving the defense any time for the Cardinals to really set itself and get themselves into a good position.
Yeah, you're right. They move that ball from one side to the other, quickly down to the low post to Charleston. He was able to get a foul called and earn himself a trip to the free throw line.
Tell you what, judging by the team, we've seen most of the teams in the Southland Conference this year come in to the Southland 2 in McDermott Center and been watching some of the games on ESPN3 and there's another stream that in the Southland Digital Network. Southeastern Louisiana right now, currently sitting at, they're doing really, have an 8-3 record overall. They're number 3, tied for 3rd spot in the Southland Conference. As I'll finish this in a second or two. As Graham lines up 2 and gets that one to go. But if I had to choose a dark horse going into Katy, it honestly just makes a great game to watch. Like, to be quite honest with you, to be level. As we get back to basketball now. Singleton brings this one down the floor. Fillmore to Veal. Puts this one between his legs. Cross-court pass to Singleton. This one's stolen away. We just gave all the harp to Southeastern Louisiana, and they get a turnover there. As Keaton Hervey can't finish at the rim. Johnson can't get the rebound. Sox will come up with it, loses handles of it. Caps will run down the floor. Sox chasing him behind, and Caps will just finish it up at the rim. Ten-point lead now for the Lions, their highest of the ball game. Johnson, top of the key. Hervey, Johnson. Sox really calling for it inside that block. They're not able to find him. Hervey, Charles Brown III, back towards the basket, throws it up with the right hand and gets it to go. Here comes Caps. That one is good.
You know, and there's that interior passing I was talking about earlier. Charleston with a nice dish to Caps in the middle of the paint.
Sox will line up 2. That one's gonna rim in and out, no good. I'll tell you what, the rims have been in a bad mood all night, not giving anybody anything. It's Veal, Fillmore. Veal puts this one on the floor, gives a nice cross-court pass to Singleton and lines up 3. Got that one to go. He was open from Hammond all the way down to San Antonio. That's how open he was.
Yeah, Cardinal Ward is going to have to look to make some adjustments here.
Hervey. Right block, gives it to Sox. Sox will work with his back towards the basket. There's going to be a foul down low. And we'll reach our first timeout of the half. Let's go and take it with them. It's 54-41. Lions lead by 13. We'll be back in just a moment.
2796.com.
Each year, this
And welcome back to the McDermott Center. 3 seconds in the lane on Simi Sox.
I actually think he's going to get called for an offensive foul there.
Was it offensive? I saw this motion, which I thought meant 3 seconds.
Yeah, no, I think the ref called an offensive foul on him for trying to clear space there.
So a little bit too physical down though in the left block. UIW looking at more man-to-man look. Gone out of that zone. Polanco, spin move with the left elbow, gets that one to go. Because right now, Southeastern Louisiana has definitely found a rhythm in the first stages of the second half. About 5 minutes gone away now. As Graham lines up a 3, that one's going to be no good. It's Polanco. Charleston. Fillmore goes behind the back. Now to Charleston. Singleton will line up a 3. That one's going to be too strong off the back iron. Greenwood will swallow up the rebound. Hands it off to Polanco. He'll line up a 3. That's going to be no good again. Charles Brown III will grab the board. And here come the Cardinals wanting to run the ball a little bit. As Johnson will line up a 3. That's going to be no good. Too short off the front iron. Maybe a little bit too quick in the possession there for the Cardinals.
Cardinal Ward now has switched to a man-to-man defensive look.
Yeah, really chasing everything. Singleton gives a nice couple of dribble moves, gives it to Greenwood. Greenwood will throw it up, no good, gets that one knocked away. Graham will push the tempo just a little bit, gives a pass to Sox. Sox just can't come up with it. Charles Brown III will work in the left elbow against Greenwood, takes it to the rim, throws it up with the right hand, cannot finish. Greenwood will fight for the rebound and comes up with it at the last moment. Charles Brown III got a great look at the basket, just couldn't get it to fall down. So here comes Singleton now.
Yeah, the Lions in complete control right now, not going to look to do anything too fancy.
As that ball, I don't tell you what, there might be some perspiration on it or something, because it's been slipping out of the hands of some players over the last few minutes. As Veal checks into the ball game now, coming in for Singleton. Here come the Cardinals now with Graham. Veal, airtight defense, finishing with the block at the end, gives a little look at Cody Graham. As now Fillmore will line up another three. No good. That's a rarity for him. But Veal will grab the rebound. Veal toes it up. It's going to be knocked away by Johnson. Johnson helps him up, though. Great sportsmanship there. I'll tell you what, right now, the Lions are just really they're pretty much just putting their will on the Incarnate Word Cardinals, or UIW.
You know, they're showing why they're the dark horse team, like you were saying, you know, quietly flying under the radar, you know, tied for third in the conference. You know, they put up points in a hurry. You know, they average 72 points a game, and you can see why. You know, they have shooters across all over the court. You know, they have great post play, great depth coming off the bench.
I feel like the only thing that's an issue with is height. They don't have a lot of height.
But, you know, and sometimes when you shoot the ball as well as they do, that's not always a factor.
They got some, and plus, interior passing has been phenomenal. We're giving a lot of credit to Southeastern Louisiana. Well, I tell you what, I say it all the time on our broadcast. Give credit where credit is due. As for the Cardinals, trail this one 58-41 and get themselves in a ball game with Devin White, who just checked in, throws it off the window, can't get it to go, grabs his rebound, and throws it down with two hands. Welcome back, Devin White. He's been out with injury for the last couple of weeks, but throwing down the two-handed jam, showing everyone that he's all right. Caps lines up a three and gets it to go. That's the big guy. But I'll tell you what, that three, 15 on the board. He's 2 for 2, 3 for 3 from behind the arc, 5 for 12 overall. But I think, you know, he's been playing an efficient game so far. For the UIW Cardinals. Him and Shawn Johnson together combined, they can get this ball around and they can really start distributing it to where the ball needs to go, and which will lead to points. The finishing statement of that all is that one is turned over, as that one was trying to get into the hands of Johnson. As Fillmore puts it down the floor. Greenwood III steps out. Now to Fillmore, hands it off to Veal. Tell you what, the Lions very comfortable right now with the amount of time on the clock. I feel like Southeastern Louisiana, I know we're playing basketball, but if this was a football game, this would be the point of it where they're kind of just like, all right, let's run up an I formation, let's get some first downs, let's kind of just milk the clock, if you will, in honor of the Super Bowl last weekend and the fact that they're wearing green.
Which was a great game, by the way, I will add.
We won't talk about it too much, but just Veal throws it up, can't get it to go.
Yeah, Devin White kind of got caught in no man's land there with a quicker Marlon Veal there.
And kind of a role reversal in the second half, if you will. UIW 16 fouls, Southeastern 1. They've only fouled once. First in the Southland Conference, but right now only with one, as Caps puts it on the deck, can't get it to go. Here comes Hervey, wants to slow it down a little bit. Johnson to the left wing, wants to run some O. Down low on the block, Charles Brown III. That one's gonna be knocked out of bounds by Veal. Tell you what, I would take, if I was playing pickup basketball, Veal would be the first pick on my team 100% of the time. I don't know. Depends who's there. It depends on the type of situation. As Devin White to Johnson. Takes it all the way to the rim. Because I was going to say, if Shawn Johnson's not playing like that, yeah, Shawn Johnson's my first pick. No offense, Veal.
You know, this offense kind of needs to start going through Shawn Johnson a little bit. His first 2 points of the second half.
Charles Brown III with a great post defense. Greenwood III once again showing that he's just knows how to work the interior of the rim or the court. As Johnson puts this one on the deck, passes to Charles Brown III. The two X factors we talked about, as Greenwood gets a block, fighting for it between Caps and Johnson. Johnson gets fouled. It will be a underneath the basket foul, as Johnson wasn't taking the two. Charleston set to check into the ball game shortly. 4 Caps. Kite running the floor. Keeping Veal with him. Johnson gives a jab step, drops a foul on Fillmore. And that one foul that Southeastern just had a moment ago, now up to 3 in a blink of an eye. There's Keaton Hervey trying to inbound it from the left elbow, or left baseline, excuse me. Gives it to Charles Brown right about at the left elbow. Who will work back towards the bucket. Shoot around jumper, and that one's good. Here come the Lions right back on the floor. Veal stops. Greenwood the third. Gets blocked from behind from Devin Wyatt. That one's going to roll out of bounds. As Konstantin Kolitnikov come into the ball game now. Coming in for Devin Wyatt. As now Fillmore will come inbound the ball from the left baseline area. Now to Veal as Johnson steps up on him. Veal will get a screen on both sides. You said that's the old Longhorn play, right? When you get 2 screens in the high post like that.
Yeah, you're right. You know, you kind of make the horn symbol, the Longhorns symbol. You know, you get a screen from your 2 post players.
That's my analysis on that. You know, Fillmore, the shot clock was down, 1 second left. Just launch it up, and it's been that type of night for Fillmore. He's been hitting it. Pretty much anything he looks at, he's getting tonight. As Keaton Hervey throws that one away to Hervey. Polanco throws it up with the left hand, can't get it to go. Greenwood the third, swallowing the rebound. Polanco gets his own rebound, throws it up the glass. No good, but he'll go to the line and shoot 2. (66-47) now the score. 8:49 remaining in this ball game, barring overtime. Polanco's first free throw is up, and that one is good. Augustine Enney will come into the ball game now. Tell you what, the way Polanco shoots his free throws, if you wanted to open up a textbook on how to do it, every time. As Thomas will come to the ball game for Polanco. 68-47 is the score. And you're right, you said that the Southeastern Louisiana Lions, one of the top fouling teams in the Southland Conference. I believe right now is that time to exploit that and really try to get yourself to the line as Charles Brown III gets a 3 to go on top of the key. Fillmore, Charleston, left elbow, or left block, gets his hands up. There's going to be a foul called on Charles Brown III.
And Charles Brown can't believe it, just like us. He was standing straight up, him and Konstantin Kulikov there. Getting a little clarification from the ref now.
Charleston will go to the line. Shooting 2. That one is up, and that one's good. Lions currently 10th place in the Southland Conference, shooting 63% overall. I believe today they're over that average. I believe they've only missed like 3 free throws all day. We'll get to official numbers on that one, but this is just the top from memory. But, you know, looking at this ball game, there's a foul called on the Southeastern Louisiana side. It's just, I'll tell you what, the flow of this game so far in the second half as we've gotten to, you know, the 8-minute mark, 9-minute mark, it's been kind of choppy. A lot of fouls being called, a lot of stoppages of play.
Yeah, it really has been. You know, the first half was just, you know,
blazing.
You know, like you like to say, the fluidity of the game was there. You know, but the second half, you know, we can't really say the same there.
As you said, fluidity, it made me hope that that's actually a word. If it's not, I guess I'd trademark it and make it a word. But as that's being said, you're right. The game was flowing in the first half. Charles Brown, the third, gets called for a foul. There's a stoppage of play there. When I was saying it so confidently that I was like, yeah, this is definitely a word. But now that you say it, I'm kind of like baffled at the moment.
Yeah, well, I only said it because you did, you know. I mean, I'm learning from you, remember here.
It's okay, man. 8 minutes left here in the ball game. 69-50 is the score. That's Fillmore in the right wing. Charleston gets a screen from on the high screen as Fillmore goes towards the lane. Thomas, Veal, 3 to go on the shot clock, just launches it from the A. And that's another long-range shot from halfway down Louisiana. Got it to go. So we got confirmation that fluidity is a word. Good news. Bad news. Well, good news again. As UIW gets a stop on the side of the ball. Charles Brown the third. Great move.
Yeah, takes it coast to coast there. Not something you see on a regular basis.
As here come the Lions with Veal lining it up from the right elbow and got it to go. Right now, the Lions this was a boxing match. Flurry. At the moment, UIW needs to find a way to get themselves off the ropes. Now, wouldn't even be surprised if Coach Burmeister wants to call a timeout and talk about it. We won't get a timeout, but we'll get a foul call on the floor. Well, we will actually. It's gonna be a media timeout. Let's take a 30-second break. The Lions. Just seems like a lot more, I guess. I guess sometimes the free throw numbers can be a little misleading because when you go to the free throw line a lot, as Johnson lines up 3 from that left wing, that's gonna be too short off the front iron. How about that? Augustine Ennie, you talked about it. Energy, just that type of scrappy player. What was he doing 90 feet away from the bucket? He's still continuing to fight for another possession for UIW. It's Peavy, top of the key now. Augustine Ennie. It's going to be foul. I believe that's going to go on Thomas. It's going to be on 20. Gonzalez picks up the foul.
Yeah, I think that was an off-the-ball foul. Charles Brown is at the free throw line.
Free throw is up, and that one is home. This is why you don't say it before the ball goes in. Well, I said the rim was being mean to everybody, wasn't giving anybody anything. That was a nice soft touch for the rim there to let it go in. Second one is up and home. 20-point deficit right now for the Cardinals. Both teams are inside the bonus. Getting to the real business end of our ball game now with just about 6 minutes to go in the second half. As Veal, a couple spin moves. Thomas, back to Veal. Fillmore has been shooting the lights off in the gym. Back to Thomas, he penetrates, throws it up with 2 hands, and gets it to go.
And that shot was partially blocked by Shawn Johnson, but somehow found a way to go in the rim. And, you know, to be honest, that's kind of been the night for Incarnate Word here.
We talked about it. Our SID, Zachary Carlton, told me that he's the best dunker on the team. And sure enough, we saw why. When he took flight, it took another flight to get him down, the Flight 41. You don't see that, but you don't see a lot of aerial action here in the McDermott Center. But today we definitely saw some as Peavy, or Charles Brown III draws the foul on Gonzalez. That was good. The fact that I just never understood how someone can jump and just look like they're gliding through the air like that.
It's almost like he has pogo sticks for legs there.
He borrowed one of Shawn Johnson's trampolines. As Brown III gets the free throw up and home. Charles Brown III wakes his second free throw, gets that one up, and that one is also home. Southeastern Louisiana finds themselves inside the double bonus. UIW, 2 outside of that. UIW with their 10th team foul. Southeastern Louisiana, the 8th. Thornton set to check in the ball game shortly. Thomas lines it up and gets that one to go. I believe that's a 3 ball.
I think they're going to go ahead and count it as a long 2.
Guess he had his foot at the line. Cross-court pass to Ennie. He'll line up a 3. That one's short off the front iron. Johnson somehow gets underneath it, throws it out the window, and gets that one to go against Thomas. A little battle breaking out between Thomas and Johnson now. In the ball game, of course. It's Thomas on Graham. Back to Veal. Gonzalez tried to set a screen for him. As Veal puts on a couple of dribble moves on the outside. That 3 is no good. Misses everything entirely. Here come the Cardinals now. Right back down the floor with Johnson. Working against West. Lining up a 3 in that left wing. Got it to go. 61-79. 4:20 left in the ball game. UIW trying to really claw their way back into it. Crowd's trying to get into it. It's Thomas. Working against Graham. Back to Veal. Veal with the Euro step. Throws it up with the right hand. Not going to go. Charles Brown III gets a rebound. Here come the Cardinals. Up the floor with Ennie. Ennie will put it on the deck. Throws it up off the window. Can't get it to go. Peavy gets the rebound, however, and pulls it out. He'll put this one on the deck. Works towards Gonzalez. Can't get it to go. And there will be Southeastern Louisiana basketball. I don't like that possession. I feel like if you're Peavy, you got to turn it around and give it to one of your playmakers. Not that he's not a playmaker, but someone more comfortable with the basketball so he can run some offense.
No, I absolutely agree. Not a bad shot by Peavy, but with very limited time here, you have to.
Exactly, you're right. You have to find a better looking shot. As Johnson brings it up, draws the foul on Thomas. He'll go to the line to shoot 3.
Yeah, Thomas very upset with that one.
3:18 left in the ball. But right now, at the moment, I think all he was saying, I think he finished that huddle with, Shawn, go make your free throws. I think that was one of the last things he said. Currently waiting right now. It will definitely be 3. First one is up, and that one is home. For a Wednesday night, got a nice crowd here in the McDermott Center. Everyone filling in between classes. Classes tomorrow morning is Shawn Johnson's short. So 16 if he makes this one. That one is up, and that one's also short. Jinxed him. Here comes Singleton now. 17-point deficit for the Cardinals. Singleton takes it to that left wing. Greenwood, the third, caps. Gets almost blocked from behind for Thornton. Just a little bit too physical in that one for the referee's liking. As Polanco will come back in the ball game. Moss Thornton is an interesting character for the UIW Cardinals. Comes into the game, can knock down some threes. Really a good defender.
Yeah, he's very long. He has a long stature. He's about 6'7", 6'6", 6'7". Has very long arms, very long. Just long in general.
really can get a lot of rebounds as well. It's up the floor now. Thornton. Outside of Johnson. Takes a step back three versus Polanco. Gets it a bank in home. Heard him calling from up here. And here come the Cardinals.
And that makes it a 15-point game.
Johnson trying to draw the offensive foul. Thomas on the left wing. This crowd gets into it now. Down on the block is Caps. Caps gets blocked, and it's going to roll out of bounds, and it will go to UIW. And right off the bench comes in Veal. Trying to shore up the guard spot there and try to protect the lead for the last 2:25. So I'll tell you what, deals are definitely going to be made in the next couple of minutes. As here comes Graham. Johnson working against Veal. Takes it to the lane. Draws the foul. He'll go to the line to shoot 2. I believe that's going to put him in the double bonus. So I tell you what, we talked about it earlier. Southeastern. They're the leading team to take fouls in the Southland Conference. You're down by a lot. As Johnson leaves another one short, you have to go to the free throw line. That's the only place where you can go and score points, cut into a lead without any precious time leaking off the clock. There's Johnson. Second free throw is up. That one is home.
Yeah, you're right about that. But, you know, getting to the free throw line is only half the job. You know, you got to make sure you capitalize on making them free throws.
You're absolutely right, too. I mean, you can get there all you want, but if you're not making them. It's Thomas. Working against Graham. Greenwood, the third, lines up a 3. Can't get that one to go. Peavy grabs the board, and here come the Cardinals now. Less than 2 to go. Graham handed off to Johnson. Johnson goes between the legs. Veal gets his hand in there, sticks it away. Here comes Veal down the floor, throws it up. Reverse layup, no good. Saved by Thomas. Oh, but they're going to say he stepped out of bounds. Thomas got blocked by the rim there.
Yeah, and the marching Cardinal band goes crazy for that one.
Now they're taunting Thomas. I don't think that's a good idea to do to a dunker, but that's just me. As Graham up the floor now. That's going to be, that was intended for Johnson as Thomas trying to come up with a steal. Augustine Eddy inbounding the basketball. Looking for Graham. Got it to him. Thornton will set a screen. Now to Eddy on the outside, on the right wing. Spin move. Throws it up with the left hand. That's not going to go. That ball will be rebounded by Polanco. About 90 seconds left. UIW trailing by 14. Here comes Veal. Now to Polanco. I believe you got to apply just a little bit more pressure than this to get the basketball back. It's West. Now to Veal. Gives it to Gonzalez. Back to Veal. The Lions more than content with just running out the clock right now. It's Augustine Eddy has the task of taking on Veal, and Veal lines it up and gets it to go. Under a minute remaining in this ball game. Johnson gives a jab step in, lines up a 3. That's going to be no good. Ball rebounded by Polanco. And the Southeastern Louisiana Lions more than content with just running out the clock here. About 7 to go on the shot clock. Gonzalez will line up 3 from the left wing. He'll get it to go. 86-66. UIW will bring this ball up. I'll tell you what. This one you're just waiting for the mailman to take away because this one sealed up and ready to go.
Yeah, the Lions are going to go ahead and just dribble this one out.
The Lions will go to 15-10 overall. 9-3 in the Southland Conference. They'll be tied with New Orleans now for the second spot in the Southland Conference. UIW will drop to 5-6.